5, paragraph page 358. Okay, and our
Yes.
last headword was wide full stage revision. Okay,
Okay.
so let's start from where you ended. Ready? Okay,
Okay, I'm ready to
here,
start.
here
Yes.
we go. Which is the widest street in the place where you live, and which is the narrowest? Which is the widest street in the place where you live, and which is the narrowest? Let's say ABC Street
Yes, ABC Street
is the
is
widest street in the
the
place
street in the place
where
where
I
I
live,
live.
and
Eh,
123 Street
And 123 Street
is the
is
narrowest.
the narrowest.
Very good. What color is the flag of your country? What color is the flag of your country? The flag of my
The
country
flag of
is,
my country is red
and
and white.
very good. Do you know the origin of your national flag? Do you know the origin of your national flag? Yes or no?
No, I
I
don't
don't know
know.
the origin
No, the
of our
origin
national
of
flag.
our flag, our national flag.
Very good. Okay, name an animal that lives on grass. Name an animal that lives on grass, please. A horse is an
A horse
animal
is
that
an
lives
animal
on grass.
that lives on grass.
Very good. What happens to grass if there's no rain? What happens to grass if there's no rain? If there's no rain,
If there's no rain,
grass becomes yellow
grass
and then
becomes
it
yellow
dies.
and then it dies.
Very good. Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? Where is the nearest tower to the place where you live? The nearest
The
tower
nearest
to the
tower
place
is
where I live
to the place where I live
is,
is the Marine Tower.
very good. Are the streets dry when it rains? Are the streets dry when it rains? No, the
No,
streets
the
aren't
street
dry
on
when it
dry
rains.
when it
They are
rains.
wet.
It, they're wet.
Well, if you walk in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If you walk in the rain without an umbrella, what did happen? If I walk
If
in
I
the
walked
rain
in the
without
rain
an umbrella,
without an
I'd
umbrella,
get wet.
I get wet.
Well, if you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If you got wet, what did you have to do with your clothes? If I got
If
wet,
I got wet,
I'd have to take
I'd have
my
to take
clothes off
my clothes
and hang
off
them up to
and,
dry.
and hang them
Up
up
to
to
dry.
dry.
Very good. What's the pass of throw? What's the pass of throw? The pass of
The
throw
pass of
is
throw
through.
is
Through.
true.
Very good. What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? What did happen if I threw a stone at the window? If you
If
threw a
you
stone
the if you threw a stone
at the window,
at
the window break.
the window would break.
Very good. If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If your TV is turned up too loud, what do you do? If my
If my
TV is
TV
turned up
is
too loud,
turned up too
I
loud,
turn it down.
I turn it down.
Very good. Okay. What are the reflexive pronouns? What are the reflexive pronouns? The reflexive
The
pronouns
reflexive
are
pronouns
myself,
are
yourself,
myself,
himself,
yourself,
herself,
himself,
itself,
herself,
oneself,
itself,
ourselves,
oneself,
yourselves,
ourselves,
and themselves.
yourselves, and themselves.
Very good. When do we use a reflexive pronoun? When do we use a reflexive pronoun? We use a
We use
reflexive pronoun
the reflexive
when
pronoun
the subject and object
when the subject and
are
object
the same person or
are the
thing.
same person or thing.
Wait, is it right to say I look at me in
If
the mirror? Is it right to say I
ah,
look at me in the mirror? No, it
no,
isn't
it
right to say
isn't right to
I
say
look at me in
I
the mirror.
looked at me in the mirror
Why not? Why not? Because the subject
because the
and
subject
object
in
are
object
the same
is
person.
the same thing,
Person.
same person
Very good. One more. Because the subject
because
and
the
object
subject and
are
object
the same
is
person.
are the same person.
Very good. What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say, I
we
looked
must
at
say
myself
I looked at
in the
myself
mirror
in
instead.
a mirror instead.
Where do you think it'd be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? Do you think it'd be easy for me to teach myself Chinese? No, I don't
No,
think
I don't
it'd
think
be easy
it,
for
it
you
will be easy for
to
you
teach
to
yourself
teach
Chinese.
yourself Chinese
Why not? Why not? Because Chinese
because
is a
Chinese
difficult
is
language to
a
learn.
difficult language to learn.
Very good. Okay, next. Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? Did you wash yourself when you were a baby? No, I
No,
didn't
I
wash
didn't
myself
wash
when
myself
I was a
when
baby.
I was a
My
baby.
mother washed me.
My mother washed me.
Greg, what did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? What did you do if you saw a man trying to kill himself? If I saw a
If
man
I saw a
trying
man
to kill
try
himself,
to kill
I'd
himself,
try to stop
I
him
tried to stop
or
him
call the police.
or call the police.
Greg, have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Have you ever seen a bird washing itself? Yes or no?
No,
I've never
I've
seen
never
a
seen
bird
a
washing
bird
itself.
washing itself.
Greg, do you think one can teach oneself a language? Do you think one can teach oneself a language? Yes or no?
No,
I don't think
I don't
one
think
can teach
one can teach
oneself a language.
oneself a language.
Wait, what do we carry to protect ourselves from the rain? What do we carry to protect
Mm,
ourselves from the rain? We carry
we
an
carry
umbrella
an
to
umbrella
protect
to
ourselves
protect ourselves
from the rain.
from the rain.
Very good. What does the word thorough mean? What does the word thorough mean? The word thorough means
The word sorrow means
complete.
complete.
Very good. In which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? In which season of the year do people generally give their houses a thorough cleaning? People generally
People
give their
generally
houses
give their
a
houses
thorough cleaning
a
in
thorough
spring.
cleaning in spring.
Right? If you jump into the sea, would you get thoroughly wet? If you jump into the sea, would
Mm.
you get thoroughly wet? Yes. If
Yes,
I jump
if I
into the
jump
sea,
into the sea,
I'd get thoroughly wet.
I get thoroughly wet.
Right? What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? What kind of things make you thoroughly tired? The kind of
The
things
kind of
that
things
make me
that make me
thoroughly tired
thoroughly
are
tired
hard physical work,
are hard
hard
physical
physical
work,
work, studying a lot
hard physical work, study a lot
without a break,
without a break,
not enough sleep,
not
etc.
enough sleep, etc.
Very good. If you drove a car on the left hand side of the road in America instead of on the right, what did happen? If you drove a car on the left hand side of the road instead of on the right, what did happen? If I drove
If
a
I
car
drop a
on the
car
left hand side
on the left hand side
of the road
of the
instead of
road
on the right,
instead of on the right,
I'd have an
I'd
accident.
have an accident.
Have you ever seen an accident on the road? Have you ever seen an accident on the road? Yes or no?
Yes,
I've
I've
seen an
seen
accident on the
an
road.
accident on the road.
Wait, if you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what did you do? If you took something by accident that didn't belong to you, what did you do? If I took
If
something
I took
by
something
accident
by
that didn't
accident
belong to
that
me,
didn't belong to
I'd
me,
return it.
I'd return it.
Very good. Do people become careless when they're in great danger? Do people become careless when they're in great danger? No. People
No,
don't
people
become
don't become
careless
careless
when they're in great
when
danger.
they are in great
Danger.
danger.
They become very
They
careful.
become very careful.
Do you write carefully? Do you write carefully? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
write
write
carefully.
carefully.
What could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? What could happen if you were careless when crossing the road? If I were
If I
careless
were
when
careless
crossing the road,
when crossing the
I
road,
could have an
I
accident.
could have an accident.
Of all the people you know, who dresses the most carelessly? Of all the people you know, who dresses the most carelessly? of all the
of
people
all the
I know
people who I know who doesn't
dresses the most
careless dresses the most
carelessly.
careless,
Very
carelessly
is
is my father.
very good. Mine too. Okay. Do you do you own all the clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? Do you own all the
Ah,
clothes you're wearing, or do any of them belong to somebody else? I own
I own
all the
my
clothes I'm
all the
wearing.
clothes I'm wearing.
Very good. What would
All
you like to own more than anything else? What would you like to own more than anything else? I'd like to own
I'd like to own
what? A house, a car, an
a,
airplane,
a house
more
more
than
than
anything
anything
else.
else.
Who owns the place where you live? Who owns the place where you live?
My family
Owns
owns
the place
the
where
place
I live.
where I live.
Very good. Do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? Do people in your country usually carry on working after they reach the age of 65? Yes or no?
Yes,
People
people
in my
in my
country
country
usually carry on
usually
working,
every
carry
carry
on
on
working
working
after they
after
reach
they reach
the age
60, the
of
age
65.
of 65.
Very good. Have you ever won a prize for anything? Have you ever won a prize
Ah,
for anything? Yes or no?
no,
I've
I've
never won a
never
prize
won a
for
prize
anything.
for anything.
Yeah, me neither. Okay. Give me a sentence with the words to meaning also.
Mm,
Give me a sentence with the word to meaning also. He wants a
he wants
biscuit
a biscuit
and I want
and
one
I
too.
want one too.
Very good. Give me a sentence with the words at least in it. Give me a sentence with the words at least in it, please. I've asked him
I've asked
at
him
least six
at
times. At least
least six,
six
at
times.
least six
And
times,
each time
and each
he
time
has forgotten.
he has forgotten.
Very good. He didn't do very
He
well.
didn't do very
Very well
well
in the exam.
in the
But
exam,
at least he
but
passed.
at least he passed.
Very good. Which is one of the most widely used English adjectives? Which is one of the most widely used English adjectives? One of the most
One of the most
widely used
widely
English
used
adjectives
English
is
adjectives
nice.
is nice.
Is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Is English the most widely spoken language in the world? Yes,
Yes,
English
English
is the
is
most
the most
widely spoken
widely
language
spoken
in the
language
world.
in the world.
Very good. Why are good manners so important in life? Why are good manners so important in life? Good manners
Good
are
manners
so important in life, are so
are
important in
so
life
important in life
because they
because
make life
they
easier
make life
and more
easier
pleasant.
and more pleasant.
Very good. What do we mean when we say that somebody has the manners of a pig? What do we mean when we
Oh,
say that somebody has the manners of a pig? When we say
when we say
that somebody
that
has the
somebody has
manners
the
of a
manners
pig,
of a pig,
we mean that
we mean
they have
that
very bad
they have
manners.
very bad manners.
Very good. Do people in very hot countries dress in the same manner as people in very cold countries? Do people in very hot countries dress in the same manner as people in very cold countries? No.
No,
People
people
in very hot
in the
countries
very hot country
don't dress in the
don't
same
dress
manner
in the same manner
as people
as
in very
people
cold
in
countries.
very cold
They
countries.
dress in a
They
different
dress
manner.
in a different manner.
Very good. Will you still be asleep at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning? Will you still be asleep at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning? No,
No,
I
I
won't
won't
still be asleep
still be
at
asleep
11 o'clock
at 11
tomorrow
o'clock
morning.
tomorrow morning.
I'll be awake.
I'll be awake.
Very good. Will you still be awake at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning? Will you still be awake at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning? No,
No,
I won't
I
still be
won't
awake
be I won't still be
at
awake
3 o'clock
at
tomorrow
3
morning.
o'clock tomorrow
I'll
morning.
be asleep.
I'll be asleep.
Very good. Who takes care of us when we're in hospital? Who takes care of us when we're in hospital? Nurses and
Nurses
doctors
and doctors
take care of us
take care of us
when we're in
when
hospital.
we are in hospital.
Very good. Okay, next. Here we go. Okay, answer the
Mhm.
following questions with the words in order to, okay? Number one.
Oh,
Okay. Why do people
yes.
eat? Why do people eat? People eat
People
in
eat
order to
in
live.
order to live.
For what purpose do people work? For what purpose do people work? People work
People work
in order
in
to
order
earn money.
to earn money.
Very good. What must we do in order to keep in good health? What must we do in order to keep in good health? In order
In
to
order
keep
to
in good
keep
health,
in good
we must
health,
sleep well,
we must sleep well,
eat healthy food,
eat healthy food,
take plenty of
take
exercise,
plenty of
not
exercise,
smoke, etc.
not smoke, etc.
Regard, what do you think is the purpose of living? What do you think is the purpose of living? I think
I
the
think
purpose of
the
living
purpose of
is to be
living
happy
is to be
and to
happy
make others happy,
and to make others happy,
etc.
etc.
Right. Give me an example of the word so that. Give me an example of the word so that, please. He put the food
He put
in the
the food
fridge
in the
so
fridge
that it
so
would
that
stay
it
fresh.
will stay fresh.
Regid, are there any notices hanging up in the school? Are there any notices hanging
Oh,
up in the school? Yes or no?
yes,
There
there
are
are
some notices
some notices
hanging up in the
hanging up
school.
in the school
Where? Where? They are
where
on the
they are
walls.
on the wall
What do they
in
say? What do
on
they
the wall.
say? They say,
Ah, they say
always speak English.
always
Speak
always speak English.
English. Wear your uniform, etc.
Oh, where is
Wear your
your
uniform,
your uniform,
etc.
etc.
Very good. What are the
Mm.
three forms of the of the irregular verb lie? What are the three forms of the irregular verb lie? The three forms
The three
of
forms
the irregular
of
verb
the regular verb
lie are
lie
lie, lay,
are
lane.
lie, lay, lay.
What's the longest you've ever lain in bed for when you've been ill? What's the longest you've
Uh,
ever lain in bed for when you've been ill? The
the
longest I've
longest
ever
I've
lain.
ever been
I've
laying
ever lain in bed
ever lain
for
in bed
when
for
I've been ill
when I've been
is
ill
about
is about 10 hours.
10 hours. Very short. Very
Yes.
good. Okay. What's the difference between to point at and to point out? What's the difference between to
Mm.
point at and to point out? The difference
The
between
difference
to point
between
at
to
and
point
to
at
point out
and to point
is
out
that we
is
use
that we
to point
use
at
to point
for
at
the action
for the
of
action
pointing the finger
of pointing the
at
finger
an object,
at an object,
whereas to point out
whereas to
means
point out
to
means
indicate something
to indicate something
among different things.
among different things.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're pointing at
You're
the clock.
pointing at the clock.
What am I doing? What am I doing? You're pointing
You're
at the light.
pointing at the light.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You're
pointing at
pointing
the
at
picture
the
on
picture
the wall.
on the wall.
Very good. Point out the mistake in this sentence, please. I've gone to the cinema this week. Point out the mistake in
Ah,
this sentence, please. I've gone to the
I
cinema this
gone
week.
to the cinema this week.
We can't say
We can
I've
say
gone to the
I
cinema
gone to the
this week.
cinema this
We
week.
must say
We must
I've
say
been to the
I've
cinema
been to the
this week.
cinema this week.
Very good. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm pointing out
I'm pointing
the
out
mistake in
the
that sentence.
mistake in that sentence.
Very good. In your country, do people visit their relatives' graves? In your country, do people visit their relatives' graves? Yes or no?
Oh no,
In
in my
my country,
country,
people don't visit
people don't visit
their relatives'
to
graves.
their relatives' grave.
Very good. Is it bad for your neck to sleep without a pillow? Is it bad for your neck to sleep without a pillow? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's
it
bad
is bad
for my neck,
for
for
my
my neck to sleep
neck to sleep
without a pillow.
without a pillow.
Very good. Can we have a fire without flames? Can we have a fire without flames? Yes. We can have a
Yes,
fire
we can have a fire
without flames.
without flame.
Very good. How long is the flight from there to England? How long is the
Mm.
flight from there to England? The flight
The
from here
flight from
to
here
England
to
is
England
about
is about 12 hours.
hours. Very good. Okay. What do the words may and might express? What do the words may and might express? The words
The
may and
word
might
me
express
and might express
the idea
the
of perhaps.
idea of perhaps.
Very good. What's the difference between may and might? What's the difference between may and might? The
The
difference between
difference between
may and might
may and
is
might
that we
is
cannot use
that we
may
cannot use may
in the second conditional.
in the second conditional.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. If I went to
If
London,
I went to
I
London,
might visit
I might visit
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Do you think it may rain later? Do you think it may rain later? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
no,
think
I don't
it will
think
rain later.
it will rain
L-
later.
Very good. What do you think I might have in my pocket? What do you think I might have in my pocket? I think
I
you
think
might
you
have
might have a pen
in
in
your
your
pocket.
pocket.
What might happen if you didn't look both ways before crossing the road? What might happen if you didn't look both ways before crossing the road? An accident
An
might
accident
happen
might
if I
happen
didn't
if
look
I
both
didn't look
ways
both ways
before crossing the
or
road.
before the crossing road.
Very good. What might you see if you went to London? What might you see if you went to London? I might see
Yeah, I might see
Buckingham Palace,
Buckingham
the
Palace,
Houses
the
of Parliament,
Houses of Parliament,
Trafalgar Square,
Trafalgar Square,
Piccadilly Circus,
Piccadilly Circus,
etc. If I went
etc.
to
If
London.
I went to London,
Do you think there might be another world war? Do you think there might be another world war? Yes or no?
yes,
I think
I
there might
I
be
think there might be
another world war.
another world war.
Very good. What's the difference between arrive at and arrive in? What's the difference between arrive at and arrive in? The difference
The
between
difference between
arrive at
arrive at
and
and
arrive in
arrive in
is that
is
we
that
arrive at a
we
point,
arrive at a point,
whereas we arrive
whereas
in
we
an area.
arrive in an area.
Very good. What time do you arrive at school? What time do you arrive at school? I arrive
I
at
arrived
school at.
at school at 8.
Very good. If you arrive at a foreign airport without your passport, what might happen? If you arrive at a foreign airport without your passport, what might happen? If I arrive
If I
at a
arrived
foreign airport
at a foreign
without
airport
my passport,
without my
I
passport,
might not
I
be
might
able
not be
to
able
enter
to
the country.
enter the country.
Very good. What is a cafe? What is a cafe? A cafe
A
is
cafe
a
is
small,
a
informal
small
restaurant
informal restaurant
where you can get
where you can
light
get
meals,
light meals,
snacks, and drinks.
snacks, and drinks.
Very good. Do you owe me any money? Do you owe me any money? No, I
No,
don't owe
I
you
don't owe
any
you
money.
any money.
Do I owe you any money? Do I owe you any money? Yes, you
No,
owe me
you, yes, you owe me
some money.
some money.
Very good. Okay. Next, what does it mean to give back? What does it mean to give back? To give back
To
means
give back
to
means
return.
to return.
Very good. When you go on holiday, what do you bring back with you? When you go on holiday, what do
Um,
you bring back with you? When I
when
go
I
on holiday,
go on a
I
holiday,
bring back
I
souvenirs
bring back
with
souvenirs
me.
with me.
Very good. Are you going to go back home immediately after the lessons ended? Are you going to go
Mm.
back home immediately after the lessons ended? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm
I'm
going to
to
go
back home, back
back
home
home, back
immediately
home
after
immediately
the lessons
after
ended.
the lesson ended.
Very good. When people lend you money, do you always pay it back when promised? When people lend you money, do you always pay it back when promised? Yes or no?
Yes,
When
when
people lend me
people lend
money,
me
I
money,
always pay
I
it back
always pay it back
when promised.
when promised.
Wait, do you know anybody who has retired but then later gone back to work? Do you know anybody who
Mm,
has retired but then later gone back to work? Yes or no?
no,
I don't
I
know
don't know
anybody who
anybody
has
who
retired
has
but then
retired
later
but then
gone back
later
to work.
gone back to work.
We stop there for today and continue
Ah,
again in a
yes,
while, okay?